guys in the WLFE. Sorry about that.
Step into the paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler, brought to you by Paranormal Inc., right here on WLFE DB Radio.
Well, hello, everybody. And round 2. Y'all missed it. We actually had like 10 minutes to show. I forgot to hit the go live.
Yeah, sorry for the delay.
My bad.
We had brought our guest in, and Dave was
talking to him, and then I went.
Dave was telling him just how great of a tech guy he was, and then he realized that he did not hit the go live button.
Welcome to episode 58.
Let's speed this up. We have an amazing guest. We've been trying to get on our program for some time now, and finally managed to do so.
I see him down here laughing at me for my stupidity.
You may have seen him briefly last year. He made an appearance at the Gettysburg Bash and will be there for a few days this year. So from A&E's hit show Ghost Hunters, our buddy Daryl.
What's up, brother? Round 2, man.
It's all good.
Hey, let's get damn banner right.
It's all good. Yeah, I've been there, bro. It's all good.
I am not technical at all, man. That's what Seiler does. But I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the button. I'm like, that's not supposed to. I'm thinking to myself, that's not supposed to be that color. No, but I didn't want to say nothing because I figured I wasn't right.
No, I miss every now and again.
But we were. Only thing people missed, we were talking about the excitement that's in the air with the, the bash coming up, and everybody's getting. Some folks are even leaving tomorrow to go, and Dave and I will be up there Thursday, and Daryl on Friday, and it's just the energy, man. You can actually feel it through your devices. I can't believe, man, how quick the bash came up again. It was like. Usually it just feels like it never gets here. And this year, it was like a blink of an eye.
It's here and gone.
It's back. So, wow.
Yeah.
Daryl, what have you been up to, my man? How you
been crazy busy. Just finished my book. It just went into publishing. Well, probably about 3 months ago, but I'm just able, like this week, in the last couple of days, to start talking about it.
Right.
Out there and things like that, but I got a book that I've been working on since June of last year, and finished it, probably writing it in February of this year, and it's kind of just going through the process, man. Besides that, doing lots of events, gearing up for my new show coming out, Dead Live, with some great people, Chelsea Gill, Corbin Bentley, Mike Diamond, and I'm super excited about that. As a matter of fact, I'll have those guys with me at the Bash on Friday and Saturday, my new cast members, and they'll actually be doing a Q&A with me. They'll be at my table. We're also representing the world's largest ghost hunt at my table as well. So, because we're actually producing that this year, my company, Paranormal Warehouse.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
I saw the photos. Because I'm very good friends with Chelsea. And I saw the photos, I think it was just yesterday or maybe this morning when I got up, different photos of you and Chelsea and everything you guys been doing. It looks so cool, man. I can't wait to see it.
Super excited about it.
As far as your book, I mean, can you give everybody, because I know you're still in the
I can't
touch what it's about.
Yeah, a lot of people already know the name, but I just found out this week I'm not even allowed to say the name. But I can tell you what it's about, a little bit of it. Basically, it's about an investigation I did 7 years ago. And matter of fact, it was 7 years ago this July, just last month. And it was in Cleveland, a place called the House of Wills. And did an investigation there that really, really changed my way of investigating. It really played havoc on my life for quite a while and almost made me quit the paranormal altogether. And so I wrote a book about it. It's got a lot going on. It's not just paranormal, but I want to call it paranormal / horror / true crime, and it's a bunch of different genres. And it's all my me accounting of what happened over that period of time, and leading up to that, it's got some other chapters in there about me, how I got into investigating, and leads up to that, and then into me going on ghost hunters and all that stuff. So it's a gamut. It's a good read. People are loving it so far. The publishers are loving it. So see what happens here. It doesn't come out until this time next year, but super excited about it.
Wow. Yeah, man, that's real cool. I can't, because I'm a huge fan of books. I read so much. And
he should have been a librarian.
I should have been, but I can't wait to add that to the collection, man. That's like every event we go to, man. I just go around like book shopping.
Yep.
So,
man,
man,
back there, different paranormal horror and stuff. Yeah,
definitely looking forward to that one.
That's gonna be fun.
Wow. What I know this is a vague question, Daryl, but what got you into the paranormal? What sparked that?
How'd you start that? What got that fire going?
It was a complete accident. I actually, when I was a kid, I grew up in a haunted house, but I don't remember. I was so young. I was like 6 when we moved out of there. I just remember the stories my parents would talk about, and my grandparents. And in October of 2005, I actually got invited to a paranormal. Here's the story. Quick story behind it. My mom actually got tickets to go to like an investigation by a local team here in Delaware, at Fort Delaware, and and she had nobody to go with her. So it was around Halloween. It was like literally 2 weeks before Halloween, and so I said, I'll go see what this stuff's about. I knew nothing about hunting, or any of that stuff. I mean, that was all like taboo back then. People really didn't talk about it. So I went, and long story short, on my first time out, it wasn't even an investigation. It was more like a walkthrough. And there's a paranormal investigator with us who was kind of walking us through the location. I actually witnessed a half-body apparition.
Wow.
This gentleman was standing literally 10 feet from me. All I could see was from the shoulders up. I remember very, I could see it still to this day, and it's been, almost 20 years ago. He had maybe shoulder length, scraggly hair, a very disheveled beard with debris in it. I could see dirt, and it was just maybe bits of leaves or something. And he was there for about a good 10 seconds, and he kind of sucked into a ball and just gone. And, with my research over the years, I kind of find out he quite possibly, being Fort Delaware, he was probably a Confederate prisoner of war from the Battle of Gettysburg, because 90% of the prisoners there were from the Battle of Gettysburg. Right. So he was probably a prisoner of war, POW. It was very harsh conditions there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fort Delaware, but it was called the Andersonville of the North. It's basically an island in the middle of the Delaware River, and that's where they would send everybody. And over a period of 3.5 years, something like an ungodly amount of people died there from starvation, disease, murder. There's even reports of cannibalism. So it was a harsh place. And but that's what I saw. And I know when I left there that night that somehow, some way I was going to try to figure this thing out. And I just started doing it locally, you know, like on the weekends, once a month, whenever I had a chance to. And it was just me in the beginning until I met my wife. We were dating at the time, and she'd never been. So we started going to Gettysburg. And
there you go. That's all it takes is Gettysburg.
Yeah, right.
They're actually cranberries in the feed right now.
Hey, Pam, how you doing?
Yeah, we actually got to the point where we started like renting the Cashtown Inn weeks at a time and staying there. And we had so many great experiences there at Cashtown, and it just grew. And that's, and fast forward, with me doing, podcasting and live streams. And that's kind of where Ghost Hunters found me. And it grew from there, man. That's where I'm at now.
Wow.
Nice.
This might be a bad analogy, but I always refer to Gettysburg as the paranormal playground, because it's so funny, man. Over the years, going up there just to take a bike ride or, sit on the hill and smoke a cigar.
Hoover House, just saying.
Hi,
Pam.
I like taking photographs of stuff and not even being there for anything paranormal. Of course, when I come home, I'm going to analyze my photos anyway.
Yeah.
And, some of the best pictures I've ever gotten in Gettysburg was during the day when I was just there sightseeing with no intention of trying to capture something paranormal.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got some amazing pictures there just hanging out right in town. I mean, like especially like where the orphanage is. I remember my wife was taking pictures one night. We did like a tour of the orphanage, and they actually had us outside. Like, I guess it used to be the actual yard of the orphanage. Now it's kind of like a restaurant. And there's like a little like backside to it where there's a gazebo type structure and a couple trees. And she took a bunch of pictures of this tree and this gazebo, and like 3 or 4 pictures, you go through them and they're probably a length of 10 seconds altogether. You start seeing this little thing forming. And by the time it was done, there was an image of a little boy peering around the tree in like period outfit.
Wow.
Being that's an orphanage, I mean, he quite possibly could have been a child that died there. Not sure about that, but it was, it was compelling to see that. That was years ago. That was 10, 12 years ago. We had that picture. But it's just like I said, we rented the Cashtown Inn all the time. We go there. There's one time we actually rented it for 5 days straight. We had so much experiences at that location alone. It's just, it's my go-to. I love Gettysburg. I mean,
I can't tell you the exact year. It was a good while ago. I didn't even know Dave then. But a friend of mine, a guy I used to work with before he retired, we decided to go to Gettysburg for the evening. He was starting to really get into the paranormal. So I was like, hey, let's just spend the evening in Gettysburg and just have some fun. So we decided to go on one of the orphanage tours. So we're like out in the parking lot, and it's a whole group of people. We're waiting to take this tour, and we're just having fun. And everybody, like I'll get a picture of me and my buddy for me, stuff like that. And it's the funniest thing because someone took a photo with my actual camera, and right by my buddy, it looked like an electric streak, almost like the swoosh on a Nike shoe.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow, that was a pretty cool camera glitch. Well, as we're talking, someone else had taken a picture, and my buddy and I happened to be in the background, just standing there talking. And that same mark was by him taken with someone's phone. Yeah. And like 3 or 4 times, and we still can't explain this, 3 or 4 times out of the night, taken with different phones in different locations while we were at the orphanage. My buddy always had this streak somewhere around him. Yeah, I never even told you about that. Oh, wow. But that was kind of
well. You remember the first time I went there that I got choked. Oh my God! It felt like somebody literally grabbing my throat, and I'm like, "Get me out of it!" I mean, I was having problems breathing, and everybody's yelling, "Get off you! Get off you! Get off you!" And they had to pull me out of that back lower room.
Yeah, we were up there with Pam and Steve
Yep,
and
that
Lori.
freaked the hell out of me because I had never been touched before by anything. So
Gettysburg, man, it's just like that's so much fun up there.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I
But-
always tell everybody, like every time I do like a podcast or something, and it's funny to see because some people have never been there. They always wanted to go, and like,
Right.
if you're into paranormal, you have to go. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like such a hotbed, and it's just such an amazing experience. Just even hanging out there and just the whole, you can feel it in the air. I mean,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
of Gettysburg, being on the battlefield or being in town, there's this, I don't know, it's this aura about it, just like it just permeates, and it's such an amazing place. I love the atmosphere. I love that the people are great. Locations are amazing. I just love going there. I mean, even if it's not for paranormal, just going there on vacation or hanging out. Yeah, it's great food.
I was just getting ready to say.
Yeah.
Well, we were here for the world's largest ghost hunt. What, 4 years ago at a farm,
David Stewart
Yep,
Farm. We were with Pam and Steve.
Yep, and we got so much stuff off this farm there, from the Civil War, from the War of 1812, from just different wars.
We had put a camera. We were at this David Stewart Farm, and beside I guess that was like the barn or whatever, there's the field. So we had put a camera, actually ran a wire way out into the field.
Yep, night vision.
And
500 feet of cable.
Just as it was turning dark, myself and Steve Barry, we were walking out. I had my FLIR camera with me, and we were walking out just to check the camera or adjust it or something before we start. So as Steve and I are walking across this field, I got my camera out, and I'm really not paying attention. And Steve says, "Hey, look, man, there's a heat signature on your camera." So we're still walking, and I was like, we were coming up on a tree. So we're like, maybe the tree's putting off some heat. So this is no bull crap, man. You can ask Steve in a couple days when you see him. We make it to the tree, but the heat signature's still ahead of us on the camera. So we steady keep walking. As we approach the wood line where the camera is, the heat signature starts to come into shape, and it was a man.
Right.
And Steve's like, "Oh man, that looks like a man standing there." So we start trying to communicate, and Steve, I forget I can't quote him verbatim, but he's like, "Hey, can you say hi to us?" And Steve goes like this. All of a sudden, man, you see this arm come up and go like this. And I mean, it was like, oh, wow. So we're close enough now, Daryl, where we can see that there's no one standing there with the naked eye.
Right.
And the closer we get, the heat signature just faded.
That's cool.
But that was, that farm. Have you been there yet, the David Stewart Farm?
Sounds familiar. Where about in Gettysburg is it?
If Pam or Eric or somebody's watching, tell us where it's at. I forget. It's just like on the outskirts of town.
Yeah, it's on the outskirts, and it's back off of this long road. And if it weren't for GPS,
we'd still be trying to find it.
it. So the GPS took us like across the street and down the road a little bit, and it's this like little hidden road to go in.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Fairfield. Thank you, Pam.
What'd she say? Oh, Fairfield. See, now I tell you what's really cool, man, and I'm sure you have the hours of the bash and everything, but for those watching, the hours this year is Friday and Saturday noon to 6 and Sunday noon to 3. And that's so cool because it gives you time in the morning if you want to go out and explore. Also gives you time in the evening. I mean, the bash, you still get a good amount of hours. The bash will be ended and it'll still be daylight.
Yeah.
So, people will be venturing out.
Are you bringing any equipment with you?
Yeah, I'm going to bring my usual, my EDI and my cameras. My partner's bringing a bunch of stuff. I'm sure Chelsea is. Corbin is also on our show. He's flying in from Indiana. So, yeah, I'm sure we're going to have some stuff because we're actually going to go live on Friday night from someplace where we'll find a location out there and do a live feed on Paranormal Warehouse just to do something,
I'll bring a bag of tricks with me. So if you're bored, I'll come. And if you
Oh,
need extra,
absolutely. We're thinking
Yeah,
about
we
like
always
inviting, like, at some point in the night, inviting the public to come do a free investigation with us. Like,
Yeah.
show up to this place. If you want to investigate, we'll be there. And so we'll probably talk more about that this week before we get out there. But yeah, we're going to make the most of it, man, because it's an exciting time. You're going to have all these great people there and see what happens, man. I'm super excited.
But you know, one great thing about Gettysburg, Daryl, is you don't have to plan like, hey, let's go to this venue tonight and set up an investigation.
Right.
You can go anywhere.
You can land anywhere in that town and find something.
I try to explain that. That's weird because I try to explain that to people because I actually got stuck in that rut probably 10 years ago where we went there. We were going to film this, this YouTube series we were doing. And it was me and a couple people from Ohio, my wife, and my other friend. We get there, and the person who was this location they had was a joke, and they were trying to charge like some ungodly amount of money. We're like, screw this. So we just went out. We went out into a random field, and we started getting crazy stuff happening. Then we jumped over to the Cooch's Bridge and we went back in the woods back there and we're getting crazy things happening. So, I mean, that's like I was telling people, like, look, you don't have to plan. Like, you don't have to, like, pay money to go and just go. Because I've seen a lot of people out there doing that where they're trying to rob the public, people who don't know any better. Like, and they try, we'll give you a ghost tour. We'll take you to this place and that place. You get to spend a half hour here, 45 minutes there. And they're spending like $100. I'm like, you don't have to spend anything. Just go.
Not in Gettysburg.
No. I mean, things like the Wax Museum and the orphanage, that goes to support also a historic monument. Yeah. So, yeah, those are good places. But if they're trying to get you for $75, $100 a pop to come out to, hey, let's go. No.
Now, don't get me wrong, man. Back in the day, I'm going way, way, way back. I've been on the ghost tours up there. The ghost tours up there. But I tell you what, man, as far as evidence, the best evidence I personally have is just standing on a hillside or, hey, let's take a picture of this cool looking building and just stuff pops up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was nothing, like I said, the majority of the evidence I got out of the town of Gettysburg itself was I was just there sightseeing, having a gelato or sitting on a hill smoking a cigar, and it was
just gelato.
Yeah.
Now we know what his problem is.
Yeah. Hey, have you been to Steve and Pam's place yet, the Hoover House?
No, I actually did an event when they had Lookout House.
Yeah.
I have not been to the Hoover House yet. No.
If you are bored 2 weeks from Saturday, we're going to be there.
No, September 10th. September. We're hosting a public investigation September.
I'll be in. I got an event in West Virginia at the old house there.
Yeah, 2 weeks is Miller Mansion.
2 weeks? I thought it was a week away. Oh, I'm slow.
But you got to get the Hoover House, man. Yeah. That place. I tell you what's good. I tell you what's fun about the Hoover House. First of all, it's absolutely beautiful. It's like you're stepping back into time, and being a person, me personally, I don't feel stuff. I'm not psychic and medium.
Don't go for this. Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't feel anything when I walk in places. But when you walk into the Hoover House, man, there is nothing that makes you feel uncomfortable. It's a very welcoming.
You can feel the energy.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
And
but it's a positive energy.
Yeah. And like I think we've investigated there maybe 2 or 3 times. We've had public investigations there. And man, we come up with some great evidence out there. We're so looking forward to it.
I've heard great things about it. I've known some people who've been there and they talk the place up. And that's kind of what you're explaining is like the same way I feel when I go to Cash. Cash Down is like for a long time there, for a good 10 years of my life, we were going there, 2 or 3 times a year. And that's, and it was like a home away from home. I felt that location. But I know the feeling you're talking about. There was nothing threatening there, but whatever is there is it's pleasant. It doesn't mind you being there. And it will communicate with you if you wait long enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing because a lot of the venues we do events at, and you do the same, but you go in and they're creepy and they're dingy and they're dusty, and you're like, oh, you get that feeling. But when you walk into the Hoover House, and even like when the guests show up, they're like, wow, they're looking just in amazement at how beautiful it is and how everything's set up. And, it's just like this feeling of comfort that comes over you. And then when you start investigating, man, it comes to life.
Well, have you ever with table tipping?
Your little intro, you got Haldeman Mansion there. I've been there many times.
Oh, yeah.
I've done like 2 or 3 events there. I actually investigated there back 10 years ago when no one even knew about the place. And that place was, hands down, it's amazing. So many things happen there. Yeah.
They have no paranormal program no more, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's such a shame, man, because oh my goodness, man, how
many times
we've been there, and just the evidence that you go in our archives, we got just a whole thing of Haldeman Mansion.
Haldeman Mansion. Yeah.
What was you going to say to him about the table tipping?
Have you ever done table tipping before?
No, I have not.
At the Hoover House, Dave Haney, who's a friend of ours, another team, they do this table tipping, which is you put your hands on the table and start acting, and the table literally starts like tipping it first. But we were there, and literally everybody's hands were on top of the table, and this table was literally coming up off the floor doing this.
I participated because I never did it, and I'm like I said, I'm one of those people. I got to have hard evidence. I don't know if it's from being a cop or what, but you need to show me something to make me a believer. And we sat there that night, and I was there.
I was watching people with their hands, seeing if anybody went under, and their hands are up here, and it literally the table is levitating that far off the floor.
We were because they were trying to get us joined in, and we're like, we was up there. We were doing an event with I think it was Lori Johnson and Jeff Leeper.
Yep.
And we were sitting there, and we're like, Dave and I are like, nah, we're good. We're just going to observe. And we're trying to figure this out.
We're trying to debunk it.
And so we joined in eventually. And I tell you what, it's like how you place your hands on a Ouija board, like barely touch. And I don't know. My insides felt like they dropped. When I felt that table come up, and I could see the other 3 people, like,
their hands are on top, and literally the table's rising. And I'm like, the first time I'm like, I'm looking for fans. I'm looking for magnets. I'm like, Steve, this kid, no, you can't do that. That's, and then literally it starts going back and forth on it, and then coming up.
The part that got me, and I know this sounds crazy, man, but we scooted out like this, Daryl, right? And stood up with our hands on the table like this and started walking like we were marching, and it was going
with you. Now, apparently, Perkins doing table tipping at the Bash next weekend. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, I did see Stephanie posted something about that.
If you've never experienced that, jump in on that. That just, first of all, you can feel like weird vibes going through you.
Yeah.
Just weird energy. It feels weird. That's the only way I can put it.
Now, if you want to experience,
I just never done. I've seen it done. Like actually, when we were doing live streams for Paranormal Warehouse several years ago, people were doing it in this live stream, and I was like, I have to be there. I'm a lot like you guys. I have to
exactly.
I gotta dissect everything. So
absolutely.
If you want to experience something great when you go to the Bash, and everyone watching is sick of hearing me talk about this, I don't know what your eating habits are or whatever, but when you're at the Wyndham Hotel, man, go into the little bar lounge there and get a cheeseburger.
Their cheeseburgers and then their morning breakfast
is just I don't leave that place. I don't leave that place the whole 4 days I'm there. Literally. They have I'm sure it's increased by now, but they have a $15 breakfast buffet.
All you can eat.
And you won't need to eat the rest of the day, man. You'll be good.
Very cool.
You can tell what we go there for, right? It has nothing to do with paranormal. It has to do with food.
I tell you, that's my next thing with Gettysburg. I go there for the paranormal, but I tell you, my true love is like all the little pubs and restaurants. We were actually we were staying in Gettysburg. We were filming in Pennsylvania when I was filming Ghost Hunters, and the closest town was Gettysburg. We were staying in Gettysburg, and one night we had some free time, and we found this I mean, I've been to Gettysburg for 20 years, and I always find something new. We found this little like hole in the wall bar on this back street.
Oh, I love those. Those
I've
are the
never
best.
been there before, and it's probably no bigger than maybe, I don't know, 100 square feet. It wasn't big at all. It was like a bar, a little side room, a pool table, and it was the coolest fucking, excuse my language, place, man. I love it. I love Gettysburg.
They're the best kind of places, though, and reason I say that, a few years back, I guess it was about 2017, 18 or whatever, Mike King from Ghost of Shepherdstown invited us to his house for the season 2 premiere party. So Dave and I, my theory is it's not the destination, it's a journey getting there. So of course we decide, the party's at night, we're leaving in the morning, and we're only an hour and a half away. So we're going to take a pit stop in Shepherdstown.
Yep.
So we're going around taking pictures and all that good stuff. And we find this little hole in the wall pizza joint. And
Tommy's Pizza.
Tommy's
Pizza.
We walked in and ordered a pepperoni pie. And it was so much pepperoni on it, you couldn't see anything else on the pizza.
You could not see the cheese. There was so much pepperoni.
It's just.
I mean, you like, it's a heart attack on a plate. I love it. And the flavor on it was just outstanding, and the price was only like $10.
Yeah, I mean they're the best. They're the best places, man.
I took a trip a couple months ago just to get pizza. I actually stopped there and went, "Hi, Mike, I'm going for pizza." I mean,
now I don't know how often, Daryl, you get up to like the New York or upstate New York area, but we were up there 2 weeks ago. Myself and 3 others were doing a paranormal book lecture. And Dave was out for the day. He went to Lake Ontario, and with some friends. And I was at the hotel by myself. So I get up and start walking up and down the main road looking for a place to eat. I found this place called Sticky Lips. It's a barbecue place.
Yeah.
Enough said, man. You're ever up that way and you see one of them.
We have a question from Charlotte. Where is the scariest place you've ever investigated?
Scariest. I put that in a bunch of different categories because scary can mean a lot of things when you're investigating. Scary meaning paranormal would probably be either Anderson Hotel in Kentucky or the House of Wills in Cleveland. Scariest when it comes to location-wise, as far as the surroundings, the people, and the actual investigation would probably be Clifton, Arizona, and probably House of Wills again, Cleveland. Yeah.
Is there a place you would never go back to because of something that happened?
Well, that would be, if you ever watched our Clifton, Arizona episode, that's where we actually got, I hate to put it this way, we kind of got like attacked. We were leaving the town. And we actually, something shot out our back tire.
Oh, I remember that. I remember the episode. I didn't remember that's where it was, though.
Yeah. We were there. We were filming there for 15 days because it was such a large, it was a whole town. It wasn't just one location. It was like, you're talking 30, 40 buildings, and we had to like narrow it down to like 6 or 7, maybe 8. And it was, and this is nothing against the people of Clifton. I know we had some death threats and stuff like that, but the people of Clifton were amazing people. And if I gotta kind of set the story up for you, because Clifton, Arizona is the bloodiest town in the Wild West that no one's ever heard of. The only reason, probably 2.5 hours away, is Tombstone. And the only reason Tombstone got the notoriety is because of Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, those guys, and the gunfight at the OK Corral. But Clifton, Arizona was much worse, much bloodier, and it was a murder a day. It wasn't just shootings; it was stabbings, it was lynchings, it was drownings. It was just a bad place, man. The whole town was nothing but brothels, and saloons. It was a mining town.
Right.
It's still today. It's a copper mine. To this very day, it's the world's largest copper mine still. And the operations from 200 years ago are still going on today there. And it's this little town in the middle of of Arizona. It literally takes the nearest town where we stayed. Our hotel was an hour and a half away.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the closest.
Okay.
So you're driving, you leave our little town we were staying in at the hotel, and you would drive an hour and a half into the desert until all of a sudden you come across, you start seeing this little speck, and the town gets a little bit bigger until you finally get to it and it sets down like in a valley. And it's almost, it's at some points a little bit lawless. They're kind of set in their ways. Great people though, like they actually made us honorary members of the board of the Chamber of Commerce. Excuse me.
Wow.
And
Nice.
but there was a small portion of people there that didn't want us there, and
Right.
reason being is there's a lot. I mean, a lot of this is speculation. Some of it has to do with drug running. Some of it has to do with there's black and white witches there that still practice today. We were warned about them the second day we were there. Me, Grant, and Brandon were standing on the street filming a scene. Like we were actually talking to this gentleman named Akush, who was he was like the head of the Chamber of Commerce there, and he was kind of like the one who called us in. And we're standing in the street, and we got camera ops around us, producers, and there's all these people. And this car kept driving by on this little back street, and like he was like, we all saw it, and he was kind of like, he's like, hey guys, and like we stopped filming for a minute. He's like, this is who they are, and he explained who they were, these witches, and they want you here. I'm just letting you know. I'm like, okay, and then they drove back by, and they rolled the window down, and the lady said some things in, I don't know what language she was even speaking. It could have been Native American, but it was supposedly some kind of witchcraft.
It could have been Celtic as well.
Yeah, and they left, and it was crazy for 2 weeks there. It got so bad the second week we were there, the last 3 or 4 days, they actually hired an entire police force from a neighboring town to come and be our bodyguards. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they didn't trust the police force in that town.
Oh wow.
Wow, even better.
They thought yeah. And I'm not saying it is. That was all speculation.
Right.
I would love to go back there someday. I don't know if I would, because we got death threats. It was so bad when we go back to our hotel, you'd have to clear the rooms in the hotel, every room, to make sure no one was in there waiting. Yeah.
That is
Wow.
that's kind of unnerving, man.
Yeah, that's
It made for an amazing episode. It really did. It was right up my alley, the type of investigating I love to do, where it's not just ghost and paranormal. It's, you get this human side of things and you have the paranormal side of things, and they collide sometimes. And you get this weird mixture, and it can get bad, especially when people are into like the dark arts, and the higher and lower keys of Solomon and sigils and things of that nature. We had sigils written in our cars in the hotel parking lot, things of that nature. So it got a little wild, man, a little weird, a little Wild West going on, man.
Wow. It sounds like it.
It was crazy, man. Yeah.
That sounds really cool, though. But yeah, I mean, because at that point you don't sleep.
I know.
Well,
you think
and then so the paranormal side kind of messes with your brain, and
oh yeah, we were all each other's throats too. I mean, like by the second week, like everybody wanted to kill each other. Like it was constant bickering, and everyone's turning on each other, and no one's getting along, and a lot had to do with the constant stress we were under. And everything
Yeah, I guess you couldn't wait to get the hell out of there and get home.
Yeah, ready to get out of there. But I look back on it, and it was like my favorite episode, actually, because there's one thing I could say about that team. of myself, Brandon, Grant, Mustafa, Brian, Rochelle, and Kristen, you put us under pressure and we did our best.
Yeah, exactly.
We always, like, you put us under the gun, we did our best. Like, for instance, we were filming up in Pennsylvania at a location. We went there. I mean, they flew everybody in. I actually drove because it was only like maybe 3-hour drive from me. Get to this location. We start filming the first day. We're just doing the walkthrough. It's me and Grant and all the camera people, producers, and everything that was sent to our production, post back in LA was all a lie. It wasn't real. It was supposed to be this orphanage. It wasn't an orphanage at all. It was a boarding house. It was, private. It was nothing matched up. Then the whole location was full of asbestos. So they had to stop filming. They shut it down. We sat there for 2 days in our hotel rooms, and they're like, what do? We got to find our location right away. And usually it took us about 5 to 6 days to film an episode. So we're down a day and a half already. And my executive producer just out in LA called me and said, hey, I need ideas. I need a place. And he said, a lot of people in this business, find me a place. I said, Madison Seminary. We can be there in 6 hours. He said, you got 5 minutes to make it happen. I was getting out of the shower. I said, hey, dude, give me a half hour. He said, no, you got 5 minutes.
Oh,
I hung up and I literally called the owner of Madison Seminary, who never picked up his phone. He happened to pick up his phone in the second ring. I was like, hey, dude, need a favor? I need a spot to shoot ghost hunters. He's like, dude, doors open. I said, today? He's like, okay. So literally, you gotta imagine there's 26 of us on our production team on the road. They packed us all up, drove from this location in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to name the location because I don't want to throw it under the bus. We left the hotel room, drove all the way to Madison, Ohio. Problem being is the only hotel they could find for us, because it was actually the weekend of the All-Star baseball game in Cleveland. They had to put us in Cleveland in like this $800 a night hotel. Ooh. That's the only place I could find. And we were fine with it. I'm like, okay,
oh darn.
Whatever. They threw us
I know that food was good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You get there and you still had to drive an hour to Madison, Ohio, which is like an hour outside of Cleveland. But we that was one of the ones on the first season we shot that knocked it out of the ballpark, Madison Seminary.
Wow.
Location.
Nice. Hey, look, everybody that's watching, we're not trying to cut Daryl short, but he's got another show to do. So I told you I'd give you the 7:45 mark. It's 7:46, Daryl.
7:43, yeah, something like that.
So I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you had another show lined up, and it's Sunday, and people like to relax.
We appreciate you, brother.
I know how busy you've been, man. I've been seeing all the photos of you and Chelsea and everything. Hey, please, when you talk to Chelsea, tell her Ernie said hello.
Oh, well, she'll be at the bash. Yeah, absolutely. This next podcast, I'll be on there with her. Yeah.
I haven't spoken to her, and I guess it's been like a couple months. I sent her daughter a copy of my book.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So anyhow, we will see you Friday, man. Have safe travels, and thank you again, man, for spending a Sunday with us, man. We really look forward to having you on. And
you're welcome, guys. I will see you on Friday at some point, and come check me out. Be at my table.
And you have to please keep me posted on your book, man, so we can get it out here.
We have shelves.
Yeah, and we can get it out to everybody, because I know you're going to
plug something real quick too.
Sure, go for it. Yeah, anything you want.
We got 2 big events coming up here in September. September 3rd, we will be at Red Mill in Jersey. Red Mill.
I've been there before.
Yeah, very cool location. We have you can go check it out. It's on Get Haunted. You can go buy tickets there. It's a really cool event. Chelsea's going to be doing a live readings there. She's going to do like a whole session with that. It'll be an investigation at the end of the night. Campfire with ghost stories and camping. So it's a
Nice.
really cool event. Go check it out. Go and get haunted. Also, September 23rd and 24th, September 23rd, we'll be doing an event at Pennhurst. And it will be me, Chelsea, Corbin Bentley, and also Get Haunted, Rob from Get Haunted again. And then September 24th, we'll be at Pennhurst again, running the world's largest ghost hunt from there. I'll also be doing the VIP paranormal investigation with the people from Pennhurst. I'm like their guest investigator for the night. So I think that starts around 10:30. I'm not sure on that. But yeah, check those places out, guys. Go buy your tickets now. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
excellent.
Daryl, we'll see you Friday, my brother.
All right, see you Friday, guys. Good to see
Safe
you.
travel.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
God, I love it.
Man, Red Mill Inn, man. I went there in 2011. That place is crazy. That place is
I want
crazy.
to get up there.
And that was the coldest. It's so big because it's before I knew you, when I was with Paranormal Research in Maryland. Our whole team went up there, and it was so big. We had to call in a team from Jersey that we knew to help us.
Wow.
And it was cold. It was dead of winter, and it was cold.
Oh,
So,
yeah, been there, done.
man, oh man.
Well, guys, we have a lot of events coming up. Let's start with this weekend. We'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're getting there
Thursday, Friday,
right? But the
Saturday.
event starts Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash.
However, though, everybody watching, I spoke to Pam yesterday. Thursday night, I think 8:30 at the Wyndham Hotel. They have like the whole outback and the decks, and there is a pre-bash kickoff celebration.
There's
and
a party.
Everyone's invited. So even if you're not a vendor, come on down. You'll get to
Shake
meet
some hands.
Yeah, you'll get to meet all your favorite
Give some
people.
kisses.
And, yeah.
Never know.
Oh yeah, Dave Seiler kissing booth.
Don't worry,
Hopefully
I'll pay you $5 for the kiss. There
Hopefully they have the dunk tank. Dave made them a good little fortune last year getting dunked in the dunk tank.
Not this year.
I peed in it before he went up and got in it. He don't know that. But Thursday, yeah, man, we kick it off Thursday night with the celebration, and then of course Friday, Saturday noon to 6, Sunday noon to 3. This year, we say this every year. This year is going to be the best.
Oh yeah,
but you know what? This year is going to be the best. You know.
Yeah.
And
a lot of good people.
The
out
following Saturday, we will be returning to the Samuel Miller Mansion in Columbia, PA. It's actually sold out.
Yep,
it's actually sold out to host a public investigation. Then on September 10th, one of our favorite places, we will be at the historic 1912 Hoover House. Oh, it's so much fun. That'll be on Saturday, September 10th. If you still want tickets, I do believe there's still some left. Please contact
Pam and Steve.
Pam Berry.
Yep.
And for everyone that's coming to the bash, whether you're in it, whether you're just coming there, whatever, safe travels, because I know there's a lot of people coming from a lot of places.
Yep.
And like I said, I was chatting with some friends yesterday, and you know, people's going to start filtering in as early as tomorrow already.
Yeah.
So
but stop by our booth, give us a hug, photo op.
Yeah, we got some.
We got new stuff.
Yeah, we got some new. Every year I come out with a different color Paranormal Inc. shirt. And man, we have
ball caps,
shirts and beanie caps and ball caps. This year we'll be selling the old Bald Dude Paranormal line, which is the hat and the shirt you saw. Of course, my book will be on sale, and then we have all the little odds and ends, pens and keychains and bracelets and
lions and tigers
and bears.
Oh my!
So, guys, look, have a good rest of your Sunday. Whatever you got to do, get it done so you can come to the Gettysburg Bash.
Yes, be there.
It goes to a great cause. All the money, 100% of it goes
Wounded
to
Warriors.
Yeah, it goes to the Wounded Warriors. It's a great cause. It's a great event. It is the Super Bowl of paranormal events. It's like Christmas for people in the paranormal.
Yep, amen.
And
you meet a lot of good people there too.
Oh man, the best. Why you think each year it keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And while you're there, if you don't know everybody and you don't know Steve and Pam, please, pull them aside and tell them just how much of a great job.
Tell them we sent you.
Yeah, tell them how much of a great job, because this takes up a lot of their time.
It does.
And what they do for others and what they've done for others and what they continue to do for others, it's just on words.
Absolutely.
So please show them some love, give them some love, and we will see you all on
we
Thursday.
love you. Guys, thanks for everything. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us.
Thanks for and Daryl, thanks for joining us tonight.
Definitely. Peace out, guys.
See you.
You've been listening to Step Into the Paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler. Thank you for listening, and listen in next week for another topic and more great guests right here on WLFE DB Radio Network.